USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Even knowing really how this turned out, I was on the edge of my seat. I thought, what if she doesn't get off? Like, what if we don't find out that it's Edith? And I thought that the way that they solved the crime, ultimately using the whist club, the ladies from the whist club, but that element of the crime solving, that these kind of women come together to create this homemade invisible ink, was incredible to me. And I love that we got the introduction of all these women characters.
Hey everyone, joining Flixwatcher today we have Alice.
Hi.
We have Kim.
Hello.
And Kobe.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about Wicked Little Letters.
Thank you as always to the mighty people for their mighty, mighty tunes, and thanks to Ben from Rocket Audio for editing this podcast. Please do remember to head over to Spotify and Apple Podcast and Pocket Cast and give us a 5-star rating and a glowing review. And if you want to join the conversation with us on social media, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, and Instagram, and Hive. That was one for a bit, wasn't it? I don't think we're there though. Come join us. Search for Flixwatcher on all those platforms. You'll find us.
Hello film fans, welcome to this episode of Flixwatcher podcast. Our guests today are Kim and Alice. Over to you please, Kim, to say hello to our listeners and tell them a little bit more about who you are and what you do, please.
Thank you, Helen. Yes, so I'm Kim and I'm here with my co-host Alice. We host Fetch the Smelling Salts, which is a podcast about period dramas, and we cover lots of period dramas, you know, lots of different eras from different parts of the world. And essentially how it works is that we watch something and one of us will do the summary of it and the other one is tasked with doing research and kind of, you know, talking about historical significance, a bit of some movie facts, and, you know, and what we always love would be like, is this accurate, is it not, etc. But really, I mean, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We're both former academics. Alice is an anthropologist. I'm a literary scholar, was a literary scholar. So, you know, we bring a bit of our, you know, academic training into each episode. But again, it's a lot of laughs, a lot of us talking about butts.
Butts and bosoms. There's lots of bosoms.
Yes, lots of bosoms, heaving bosoms.
Historical butts and bosoms.
That's true. You know, would that guy really have that big pecs? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said about period dramas across the world, when you think about period dramas, they're typically Anglophonic, so spoken in English. So either usually UK or American, maybe a bit of Australian if you're going back into kind of the rough areas. The only period drama I could think of, which a lot of people wouldn't think of period, is like City of God in Brazil. So can you throw some more kind of period dramas which you possibly... the non-English ones?
I was going to say, would Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon be on deals?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. That is actually on our list of things we'd love to cover.
Yeah.
We've talked about that on this, yeah?
Yeah, so we haven't done that yet, but we are going to. So yeah, no, we've done a few Bollywood films.
Okay.
You know, like Mangal Pandey, Padmavat.
Oh, we've done RRR.
Oh, yeah, we've not done RRR yet. Yeah.
Oh, that should go on our list as well.
Yeah.
That's always on Netflix, that one, so if you ever need to...
Oh, that's really good to know.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, so, and we've done The Handmaiden as well. So, yeah, so these are kind of like just a few of stuff from around the world.
Yeah, so Kim basically loves and knows a lot about anything Bollywood and Indian. I love K-dramas and historical K-dramas, so we kind of combined our forces there. So we tend to cover a few of those things, and then we just kind of branch out and we'll go anywhere.
Always looking for recommendations.
I think now you kind of cracked the seal open for me. I can start thinking about these. Maybe throw some more in this conversation if anything comes to mind. But Handmaiden that's Park Chan-wook, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was actually just thinking, was The Woman King on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix at the moment, as far as I know. But that's still anglophonic.
Where did we watch it? How did we?
Yeah, it's Anglophone. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been, and they do speak the language that I can't remember now, that was spoken in Dahomey at the time.
Okay.
They do throw that in, but yeah, it is.
I don't know. I can't remember it. But I remember it's in English, and John Boyega, he enjoyed speaking in a West African accent with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Much like my uncles.
Yeah, this is getting into tangent territory, so I'm sorry for that. But you will get a lot of like American and British made films that are set in something like Africa or somewhere else. And so there'll be Anglophone movies. We always forget about them because there's such a dearth of, for example, African period dramas that will, like, it's an American made film, but, you know, it's set in Africa, we'll take it.
So it's your choice, Alice, and the film is Wicked Little Letters. Can you tell us, first of all, why you chose it? And then secondly, you've got 60 seconds to give us the synopsis.
This is another one that's been on our list since it came out in 2023, pretty much because we love Olivia Colman and we want to watch her in anything. So if we can talk about an Olivia Colman period drama, we're absolutely going to do it. We loved her in The Favourite, which is a film that we've covered. So I hope that we'll get to cover this on our podcast in the future. And because it's just a bonkers story. And it is wild that this is based on a true story. It should not be.
So you got 60 seconds for the synopsis starting now.
Right. Torn from the headlines. This story is set in the English South Coast in the village of Littlehampton in the 1920s, just after World War I. Edith Swan has been getting profane poison pen letters in the post, and she accuses her neighbour, recent Irish transplant Rose Gooding, of being the author. Rose is arrested and put on trial for libel, but woman police officer Gladys Moss isn't convinced she's guilty, so with the help of the Christian Women's Whist Club, she sets out to discover the truth, which is, spoiler, it was Edith Swan writing all that nasty, nasty wordage.
Very nice.
Okay, so Helen, had you seen this film before?
I fucking have, yes.
Oh, good Lord. There might be a bit of swearing in this episode, guys.
Probably more than usual. Yeah, I saw this when it came out. I was intrigued with the level of swearing and the fact that...
You're intrigued by it.
that it was a sort of reunion for Olivia Colman and Jessie Buckley, who I love them dearly, and I was intrigued by it.
You should say a reunion for what? The Lost Daughter?
The Lost Daughter, yeah, it's not really, but any opportunity to see those two together, I'll always take. And yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of swearing in it. You see Jessie Buckley's arse in it as well. It's one of those... It's one of those kind of like... If you looked up Sunday afternoon British movie, this falls into it, I think.
I'm not sure about afternoon, just because of the level of swearing in it. Maybe, yeah.
Oh, you think more like children. So I'm thinking like adult afternoon. When I went to the cinema and went to watch it, the demographic was very much people finding swearing hilarious. That was the general vibes. But yeah, and you'll be pleased to know I did my research and it's reasonably pretty faithful to its origins and its true story. So yeah, it is, for the most part, remarkably did happen.
That is wild.
So Kim, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'd never seen it. I mean, so like Alice was saying, this has been on our list, right, since it's come out. So I was really glad that, I watched this. I watched it for the episode. And oh my God, I was laughing the whole time. It was great. And what was really funny was that, so I watched this just after we recorded our episode on The Woman in White. So Jessie Buckley was in that as well. She played a very, very different character. I was like messaging Alice. I was like, oh my God, it's that actress from The Woman in White. And she's insane. And yeah, so
Is that the first time you've come to know Jessie Buckley then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's got range.
She's going places. Yeah. There's one film. Is it Ruby that she does, where she sings in it? I've not seen.
Wild Rose.
Wild Rose, is it? Yeah. And maybe I'm thinking. I was combining Judy Garland and Rose into Ruby. But yeah.
Oh no, or maybe no. Sorry, she was in Taboo, right? So I love Taboo.
I don't know that one.
Series.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but that's also that's a
It's also
period
on our
drama
list.
as well.
Yeah.
It's quite dark, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of like probably didn't clock her in it. Or I'm really bad with actresses and people. Like, I don't know. I'm just bad.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm like that person from that film, that one.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where this is what like trailers are for. Because I saw a trailer for this in cinema. I was like, this sounds like a right laugh. This sounds really, really good fun. And I was there the first day it came out. I've loved Olivia Colman since, I'm not sure if it's Green Wing first or Peep Show.
But
since that,
Peep Show, for
but
sure.
from back
for
from that
me.
time, it's like such a transformation. She was always a comedic actor, always slightly put down upon, that kind of person. And then it's Tyrannosaur, where she was like suddenly this tour de force, and everyone was like, holy shit, she can really act. And here she kind of goes back to the kind of put down upon character, but with an edge, with a random edge. And she's always had that level of comedy, which really comes to the front in here, and it does in the Favourite as well. The line where she says "badger" in the Favourite still has me laughing, like I'm laughing my ass off. So this film was like set. It was like, Kobe, you're going to enjoy this film just from the trailer. And I love also here you have Anjana Vasan, who I think is a recently amazing actor, most notably for me from We Are Lady Parts, which I think is one of the best comedies ever for the past few years. And she had a great episode in Black Mirror. Then you've got people like Timothy Spall, who's been a right knobhead. And Bridget Jones's mum is here as well. Yes. And in this story, like Olivia Colman, Edith Swan, she effectively kills her own mum, and it's kind of glossed over in a weird way. But then she carries on with this like treacherous, random thing of like writing naughty letters because her dad's ultimately a twat and needs to vent in some way, shape or form. Yeah, I just love this. I think it's hilarious. I also quite like this, probably not so true to life, but randomly a diverse cast from an ethnic point of view. I was like, yeah, why not? It's fine.
Yeah, we love a bit of casual blind casting in period dramas. Our argument is mainly for anyone who doesn't like blind casting in period dramas, who finds it historically inaccurate and therefore distracting. We say, well, period dramas became historically inaccurate as soon as they started casting hot actors to play anybody in England. So in the past.
Anyone with a fringe, which is Alice's, the bugbear.
Yeah. And so blind casting, it's a win-win. We get to see actors that we normally wouldn't get to see in period dramas, and we get to see them kind of stretch their wings and do something different. So what's not to love about that?
Yeah, because this is when, like, I hate to say his name, Lawrence Fox.
Well,
when he is what's that film, 1917, film set in World War One, and it's like, hold on, there are characters from India in here. They're like, yeah, they were fighting on our side.
Yeah, no shit.
Did you not know that, you fucking dickhead? But he kept on digging in instead of just saying, oh, I didn't know that. That's news to me. Thank you very much for informing me. But yes, people travelled the world even still then. And so it makes sense that this should be shown in these roles, in roles from history.
did you know that England and the British Empire had this like crazy long relationship with the continent of Africa and the Indian subcontinent?
Yeah.
I mean, that's news to some people, apparently.
Well, I mean, did anyone happen to note down any insults that they particularly enjoyed? Because I've got a couple. One was, "Dear Edith, you foxy ass old whore." And then this was quite a long one. "Oh, fuck off, you pasty old, shriveled old piss bastard, fucking old cunt."
I'm pretty sure I called my cat that later that night.
And the bit where she just shouts, "Fucking wankers."
I love, so we're talking about Edith. There's swearing coming from several sides here, and I love that as a very sweary person. I love Rose's real swearing.
Yeah, well, just her being herself, you mean?
Her just being herself, being like this hard Irish woman who comes up with phenomenal cussing. And then Edith, who has this fumbling, studied kind of cussing that seems to be obsessed with animals in a weird way, like foxes and beetles.
I loved it when Rose stood up to him and said, "Why is it always foxy arse with you?"
Do you want to talk about it?
Is that the best you can do?
And that leads to the most...
Foxy arse beetle slut.
Beetle slut. What is a beetle slut? Like, what is she imagining that to
It's
be?
a very upper class English insult, isn't it?
Yeah.
You beetle slut.
The way she kind of when she's writing, she just writes words down that don't actually make any sense. It's just like, you, blah, 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 swear, love X at the end of it. And you're kind of like, what have you actually done there? That's not... It's not big, but it's not clever, but it's actually quite funny.
No, and the fact that she does it in such lovely handwriting too.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like, you
That was her downfall.
foxy ass.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo coffee machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
One of the things I love most about Edith's cussing is, as Helen said, it sounds very upper class, but she isn't upper class. She is very much in a, working class street in this village. But she has this gorgeous penmanship and she has all of the upper class manners. And so it's all very affected. And so it's lovely that her swearing is affected as well. And I love the scene where she's writing in her journal just over and over again, fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah.
And more florid as she gets more irate and unhinged. Like, fuck, with all these loops and underlines and flourishes.
Swearing is big and clever and funny. My favourite swearing tends to be like in The Thick of It, for example, where it's so beautiful in the way it's constructed. But also things like Blackadder where they can't, or like Red Dwarf where they can't swear, but they use other words to get across the same. And I think that's a level of genius that I think British comedy does really well. But also fine, swearing's funny. I love it.
If you want to do a non-sweary British swear, just combine like something with bum and brain and a root vegetable.
And an
like
animal.
You turnip-bottomed badger brain.
That could be a Blackadder.
Yeah.
Yep. I can so see him calling Baldric that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Baldric would be, you said turnip?
I think that's what made me think Blackadder when you said turnip. What do you guys make of the actual uncovering of the crime? Was that too simple in a way? Or was it just like, well, we're here for just a bit of a romp?
No, I'm very gullible and simple, which makes me a very good movie watcher because even knowing really how this turned out, I was on the edge of my seat. I thought, what if she doesn't get off? Like, what if we don't find out that it's Edith? And I thought that the way that they solved the crime ultimately using the whist club, the ladies from the whist club, which was the least historically accurate part of it, I think. Would you agree with me, Helen?
Yeah, I don't think they were involved.
They're definitely not mentioned in any of the history, but that element of the crime solving, that these kind of women come together to create this homemade invisible ink was incredible to me. And I love that we got the introduction of all these women characters who were so funny.
Yeah.
Can I speaking of the homemade...
Like waiting for the egg before it can go on with the plan.
Yes! That was exactly what I was going to say. I was like, that bit resonated with me. I'd be like, no, nobody talk to me until I eat. All right? Okay, give me some food and then we can discuss.
Cool. Is there anything else, guys, you want to say before we get to the scores?
Oh my God, yes, so much, actually. Sorry.
Go, it's fine.
Ellen did say that this is a historically accurate, just surprisingly historically accurate film. And I thought actually the thing that was, they changed little bits here and there, took some people out, added some people in. They actually made the police worse than it seems they were in real life. Like they got Scotland Yard involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got a guy down who they could have added as a character, but they chose not to because instead they decided to have the whist club solve the crime, which I thought was brilliant.
So did they live next door to each other?
Yeah, they were really good friends. Like they did things like share recipes, and they seemed to think that they possibly fell out over a communal garden, and that's kind of where it originated, yeah, the kind of disagreement. We don't know whether her father was kind of like the influence on it, but they kind of said that, they thought Edith had mental health issues, which kind of led to this. So that's obviously alluded in this film, but I don't know how much of the father figure was a particular influence on that. But yeah, I mean, this is just kind of like one of those things, times were different before the internet, like, falling out over knitting patterns and pickles and things like that was enough to cause a town scandal.
Today, though, like a communal garden, we've got a WhatsApp group for our communal garden. I could see it happening.
I was about to say, I was like, Alice, you have a communal garden. You must have lots of drama.
It gets heated.
The drama, yeah.
I had to mute it today. People have not been doing the compost bin correctly.
What were they calling each other? Foxy ass cunts or something?
If I could just circle back.
Sure.
So it was Inspector George Nichols who came down. They called him down from Scotland Yard. And he was the one who actually asked woman police officer Moss to help him with the investigation. And they did use invisible ink on the postage stamps. And they roped in the post office to help them with that. But I thought the thing that was most historically accurate, as someone who's interested in true crime and historical true crime, was where they absolutely tried to discount everything that Rose was saying in her defense because she was an unwed mother. And in reality, she wasn't. She lived there with her husband and their 2 children. And so her husband was there, but she had had her first child out of wedlock. And so this was something that became evident in the trial. And the judge was really reticent to believe that someone as upstanding and clean-mouthed as Edith could be writing such horrible things. And this is something that you see in a time like the 1920s. You would have even a murder trial and the victim would be called into question because her mother had a boyfriend out of wedlock or something like that. Just anything to tear down the personhood of victims or...
Well, I mean, a lot like Jack the Ripper, for example, because a lot of his victims were sex workers, they were like, no, it doesn't matter, we don't really even care.
Well, a lot of them weren't, actually. This is the whole myth about it. Yeah, that there's a really good book called, I think it's called The Untold. So the stories of the 5 women. And they weren't all sex workers. And that's kind of been built on. But the same thing, no one cared about them enough because they weren't married or they'd had children out of wedlock and things like that. So yeah, it's a similar thing. But yeah, I mean... women aren't believed now for a lot of simple things, so kind of not much has really moved on.
Not much progress. I was going to say I've been reading up a lot on the Kendrick Lamar and Drake spat because I watched the Super Bowl and I was blown away by Kendrick Lamar. Before I wasn't. And a lot of it, to me, boils down to a bit of pettiness, how these things can kind of spiral out. And a lot of other hip-hop beefs and other kind of spasms and schisms in pop culture have tended to come back to something a bit petty, and that's like this as well. It's like community garden, someone doesn't do the compost properly, watch yourself, Alice, because that could be really bad for your life if you don't learn how to do composting properly.
This is why I don't garden anymore.
Yeah. These things, they can escalate from like seemingly something that's nothing of interest to anyone else, and they can escalate to like worldwide, in the recent case of hip-hop beefs, to something that's quite substantially horrible. Anything else you want to say before I head to the scores, though?
Dear Kendrick Lamar, will you please watch Wicked Little Letters and do a diss track based on them? Thank you.
And include Foxy Arse in it.
I'm sure he will do. Yeah. Let's head to the scores.
I'm Sam Clements, host of the 90 Minutes or Less Film Festival, another podcast in the Stripped Media family, a podcast that celebrates movies under 90 minutes long. Each episode, I'm joined by a special guest who selects a movie to join our prestigious lineup. Past guests have included fellow Stripped Media family members Martin and Sam from Song by Song, and Kobe from Flixwatcher, and Dave from The Wire Stripped. Search for us now on the app you're currently listening to this podcast, or join us at 90minfilmfest.com.
Welcome to the Flixwatcher scores. The scores are always out of 5. You can have decimal places if you wish, and we'll start with you, please, Alice, with your recommendability.
I gave this a 3 because it was fun. I enjoyed watching it. It didn't move me. I don't know that it has anything particularly important to say, except for all of the new cuss words that I learned.
Well, they knew they were just how they were arranged.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily consider something like a beetle as key to bringing down someone verbally, but now I will.
Kim?
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm, somewhere near Alice, about 3.2. Again, I think when Helen talked about it being like a Sunday afternoon thing, that's kind of how I would see it. Again, as someone with no kids, so it'd be like, perfect, nice Sunday afternoon watch.
Helen?
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think Olivia Colman and Jessie Buckley really make the movie. I can't imagine it would be as entertaining with anyone else. I mean, those two are like the star of the show. It's kind of fun, it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of like a little bit weird that it's an actual true story, but yeah, it's not going to change the world.
I'm going way higher than you guys. I'm going 4.7 here. It's just really entertaining, super, apart from people who don't like swearing, because there's a lot of people who like violence is fine. Like, heads being blown off is like absolutely fine, but like saying fuck or shit, whatever, is like the worst thing in the world. So like The Walking Dead, there was like zero swearing, but some of the most gory things you've ever seen in your entire life on this TV show. So there's a lot of people who don't like swearing. Yeah, if you don't like swearing, it's not for you. But if you find it funny, like myself, then it's fine. It's really entertaining. It's good fun. Olivia Colman's having a blast. Jessie Buckley's having a blast. Anjana Vasan's having a great time. Tim Spall, hissable, but I'm sure he's enjoying himself in this as well. so why not? Yeah, 4.7. Repeat viewing score. Alice?
I gave it a 4 because I would definitely watch it again to be less stressed out, knowing that it all turns out okay. It turns out surprisingly well. Edith Swan seems well chuffed to be going off to a year of hard labour.
Does Edith go to prison in real life?
She did 12 months of hard labour for the crime of libel.
It came down as libel, okay. Because she's blaming it on Rose. Nice. Kim?
Yeah, rewatchability, maybe about 3. Again, I think it's kind of like, it's not really something I would watch again. It was fun once, but I kind of got everything I wanted from it. And yeah, I mean, like the laughs, I probably won't have the same laughs the second time around. I mean, nothing's new. I mean, I would still, I don't know, sorry, let me take that back. I would still have the same laughs, but there would be no surprises, right? So,
sure.
Yeah.
Helen?
So I have seen this twice, but had I not wanted to give it a bit of a refresh in my memory, I probably wouldn't have watched it again. So yeah, like you were saying, Kim, like the shock value of hearing it is kind of less, and you will have, there's diminishing returns on how shocked you can be by some of it. So I'm going to give it a 3 for repeat.
Yeah, I'll go for a 3 as well. I've seen it twice now. I'll see it again happily, but I can't think of when specifically. Alice, small screen score.
I gave it a 5 because Obviously, I watched it on the small screen. I didn't see it on the big screen. And I felt that it never really needs to be seen on the big screen. In fact, it should be seen in your home in a cozy blanket with a hot drink.
Kim?
I agree. 5, like I said, perfect Sunday afternoon. If you have no kids, just chilling out. It's just fun.
Helen?
Yeah, to say, I mean, it was amusing watching it as a shared experience, seeing what of the insults elicited the most laughter. But as a film, it's perfect viewed on your home screen on that cozy Sunday afternoon, not morning, without children, unless you want to introduce them to swearing at a young age, which Rose seemed to have done with her child. And that child seemed fine.
Right.
Like, she was playing guitar. She seemed to have dealt with her mother going to prison surprisingly well. Maybe it's the swearing that helped her early in life. So, yeah, maybe with some biscuits and a nice cup of tea kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 5, was it?
Yeah.
Slightly contrary. I'm going 4.9. I did enjoy watching it in the cinema. I think comedy's always better with more people around in particular. But at home, there's nothing to say I must go to the cinema for it again. And if Prince Charles was showing it, I probably wouldn't bother. Engagement score, Alice. You're quite stressed, so I imagine quite high.
Well, I gave it actually a 3.5 because I had to pause it to give my kids dinner at some point and then re-engage with it a few hours later. And that didn't really seem to have any effect on my viewing experience.
Okay. Kim?
Yeah, I would say about a 3.2. I actually watched it in 2 parts, just, because of time and stuff. So, and it was perfectly fine for me and easy for me to just pick up.
Helen?
I mean, I'm going to give it a 4. I mean, it's only an hour, 40 minutes, so it's not a long one. It doesn't try and overstay its welcome. In the I was pretty engaged.
Yeah, I'll go 3.8. Simple to watch. Don't need to pay that much attention to what's going on the screen, especially if you've watched it the first time. And yeah, 3.8. And that gives us an overall score of 3.86250. Kim, Alice, thank you very much for picking Wicked Little Letters. Can you tell us, remind us, I should say, where we can find you guys online and your podcast, and we'll say goodbye to the listeners?
In your mother's arse.
Oh my God.
You Beatles slut.
But also, Instagram.
But actually, yeah, sure.
Which your mother's arse is also on. And you can email us at fetchsmellingsalt@gmail.com if you want to recommend a period drama for us to watch and cover on our podcast. We would really, really love that. On all other social media, including Instagram and Threads, you can find us at fetchsmellingsalts. And we don't know about Kobe's mum's OnlyFans. Sorry. that was shoehorned. Really.
It's going to stay in. Thanks. Anything else from you, Kim?
No, I'm good. I'm good. She said everything. I'm just saying, what was that? 10 years of hard labor?
1 year.
Oh, okay. 1 year.
12 months.
12 months of hard labor for libel. Yeah. So, yeah. Alice, I'm just saying.
Just chill. We should chill, probably. Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Enjoyed this episode of Flixwatcher podcast? Why not leave us a 5-star review on iTunes? You can also follow us at FlixWatcherPod on Twitter, and we're at FlixWatcher on Instagram. Thanks as always to the mighty people for their mighty, mighty tunes, and Rockwood Audio's editing skills. If you're looking to get your podcast edited as sweet as this, get in touch with Rockwood, ROKK Wood Audio. Tell them Flixwatcher sent you.
You just heard a Stripped Media production.